Hey guys, I just wanted to make a short video just explaining what I did today because I did do some coding, but I just didn't feel like uh, recording it just because I was at the library and I kind of came to an epiphany that it's a lot harder to produce good and efficient code and write a lot of good code while recording to you guys, just because my brain is kind of split between recording and at the same time writing code, which is quite uh, a bad experience just because I'm kind of having to split my brain's attention onto two separate things, which is never good. But yeah, I managed to get something working today. I'm pretty happy with it. I made an update rules function and a toggle rules function, basically, right? So what I'm doing is essentially just having this rule set enabled, and within the habit tracking, let me just pop this open. Within the extension itself, it has the ability to actually toggle between that, right? Right now, it isn't storing the official state, but I think it's on right now. So if I search at Google, it will be blocked. But if I go here and then click unlock, I need to click it twice because unlock is what sends the disable thing. It should give me access to Google, which it does, which is fantastic. But I can lock that, and I also have the functionality for adding a specific habit in here, and it'll essentially just unrestrict everything that is related to this, because with how the extension works, it essentially has a hierarchy of allow, block, and two other things, right? So if you have um, a specific to do being allowed, so for example, an allowed URL, which is basically just like the habit, and at the same time a rule set that just restricts access to everything or blocks access to everything, the allow thing will have a higher priority to the block because it's kind of like um, bigger in terms of hierarchy, I guess. But we can just go test this. Google doesn't work now because we've locked everything. But if I type Google here, submit that, and then go Google again, we can search up anything that has the Google tag in the URL, basically. So that's pretty much the functionality I did today. Now I do want to have some storage mechanisms. Probably gonna do this next video. I might record it. I'm not sure. It depends on how I'm feeling. But I think for the future, if I guess I show you the code. Yeah, I just essentially have this dynamic rule set. I get the dynamic rules and then I update it for every single thing. It's for each technically because the will eventually have more than one allowed URL else, but for now it's just allowed URL initial, so it's just one. Um, yeah, so that's what this one does, and this is what is being done right here in the submit. So whenever they submit the input, then it gets taken here and append habit to local. That hasn't even been built yet. I don't know what that's for. But updating rules is working, which is honestly the best part. When you get like the front end to communicate with whatever you're trying to have it communicate with, that's like the best part because then you can actually start doing some coding. And I feel like those videos are probably the best for me to record just because I already know what's going on. But in terms of like videos where I have to learn and figure out stuff, it's probably a bit more difficult. So I realized it's actually a useless piece of code that I'm doing there. But yeah, so with the stuff that I'm doing now, where I'm actually learning how to figure this stuff out, it's a lot harder. But once I get a solid footing into whatever I'm building, then I think it's better content for you guys. Just because it's not just me just sitting here like looking, reading, and trying to figure out how to actually build stuff. It's me like knowing exactly what I build and then basically just showing you guys and walking you guys along the way. But yeah, that's what the submit input does, and then we also have a toggle extension, which is basically the lock and unlocking mechanism that you guys saw. Now right now there's a bit of an issue where, you know, if you lock it and then go back, it's back to locked, right? But I need to add some persistence in, I'm assuming it's just gonna be Chrome storage, that essentially keeps it at unlocked and have it locked. And also right now it's reversed, I believe, because if I have it, if it's locked now, if it's, this should be unlocked right now because it says lock, right? And if I were to access Google, wait, oh yeah, not Google, let's just put a different, a completely random habit, let's just do AWR, okay. Google, it should be unblocked actually, so it shouldn't be enabled. So this is, I believe, a simple fix, but if it's true, so it always starts up at false. If it's false, then we enable the rule set, otherwise we disable it. I mean, we can test it now. This is probably a pretty simple thing to test, hopefully. I am feeling a lot better. I did all of this at the library, which is kind of my safe space for coding, because I can actually do stuff. That's weird. So it's blocking everything right now, even though the options essentially exist. So let's try and think about state. So initially, right now, it's at a false state. And then we pass that in. Do we pass that in there? I think we need a use effect that just sets it initially. So it passes in false. Initial. So I think this function is not being run initially. So we can have a use effect and essentially just pass that in. Is enabled. I guess we can just have that here. Right. Oops. Do that there and then try doing that. So now every single time is enabled happens, essentially it just resets it. That's the plan anyways. So if it's false, if it is true, what is this right now? I'm curious. Let's even go into this. Because if it doesn't, then we're in trouble because it shouldn't even be doing that. So let's just test this. Does it initially even go into this? Inspect element. So it's false. Okay. Initially it's false, which means it'll go here and it should disable the rule set. Which means Google should be accessible. Why'd I say it like that? That was weird. But then the moment I change it, it should lock. Yeah. That's that done. Lovely. So now we have a neat little locking unlocking system, and that is initially unlocked. And then just to test some additional functionality, we'll add Google and unlock it, and Google should still be accessible. Nice. So yeah, that's that, and it's probably the most I'll probably do in this video. Like, it's not a lot of coding, but I feel like right now, not coding isn't even that entertaining, you know. So all the videos starting from here will be more entertaining than it has been, because I feel like it's been a bit dry. Just purely for the fact that there hasn't been much content. I feel like I haven't coded a lot, just because I've been trying to figure out how to do it. Like, just do a browser extension with React. But now that we're finally there, we can actually start getting to the bulk of what to do, right? Which is great. So, git commit, add fixed initial state of locking mechanism. You just push this in and then call it a day. So if you're wondering why this video is short, that's why. It's because, yeah, I don't want to bore you guys. And it already is 10 minutes, surprisingly. So, yeah, maybe this is, like, enough. But, yeah, that's about it. See you guys in the next video. I did do coding. Even if it was just 10 minutes.